Hi, I'm Stian. I'm a blogger and a photographer, and I live on an eco-estate where animals roam free and nature comes first. This is home to me, and this is where I do most of my cooking in the Veld. I love food that makes people smile, and my recipes are easy to make, better to eat. Welcome to the photographer's blog. What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for tuning into the photographer's blog. Today I'm going to show you how to make seared steak with chimichurri and tzatziki that I'll be serving over flatbread. Now I call this seared steak, but I'm actually going to braai it, as we'd say in South Africa, which means to cook over an open fire. The first thing that we need to do is make a simple marinade for the steak. We don't want the marinade to be overpowering because the chimichurri and tzatziki are already bold in flavor. The marinade starts with half a cup of good olive oil, to which I'll be adding some freshly chopped herbs. I have some oregano, rosemary, chives and thyme. I'll also be adding some dried chili flakes, some seasoned salt, brown sugar and some black pepper. Now while I wash and chop the herbs, let me show you around. Alright, that's the herbs done. This is equal amounts, 1 teaspoon of each I'd say, although exact quantities here are completely unnecessary. To make the marinade, I'll add everything to my pitcher with oil, give it a good stir and cover the meat. I'll use a brush to ensure the meat is coated evenly. You want the meat to marinate for at least half an hour, although you can also leave it overnight. Alright, I'll leave the meat to marinate now while I get on with the tzatziki and chimichurri. See you in a few minutes. Tzatziki is as authentic Greek as one can get, but this meze and appetizer is served across the Mediterranean. It is cool and soothing and pairs perfect with any grilled meat or roasted vegetable. Making the sauce is as easy as assembling. I have 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt here, to which I'll add the zest and juice of 1 lemon or 2 limes. You can serve tzatziki with your food or as part of a meze course alongside other Mediterranean food and condiments. Next, I'll add in the juice of half a lemon or 2 of these small limes. The second main component to tzatziki apart from yogurt is diced cucumber. I'll add about half a cup or so. Next, I'll sprinkle in some salt and quite a bit of black pepper. Next, I'll grate in some fresh garlic. I always use fresh garlic because I think it's much less acrid than those in the jars. The first thing that we need to do is to peel the garlic. For that, I'll use a paring knife to cut off the top hard part of the clove and peel away the skin. I always grate in the garlic when I'm making tzatziki because I don't want chunks of garlic in the sauce. Next, I'll chop in some fresh parsley and mint. For the mint, I will remove the leaves from the stems first. I'll chop the parsley as is. Now this is curly parsley, but of course you can use Italian flat leaf as well. I'll give everything a stir and we're done. Now is also the time to taste. I like a tzatziki with enough black pepper and lots of lemon zest, or in this case, lime zest. The best thing about this sauce is that you most probably have everything you need already in the fridge. Alright, I'll put this in a serving bowl and we're done. I'll do a quick cleanup and we'll get on with the chimichurri. See you now. Chimichurri originates in South America, specifically Argentina and Uruguay, and is a condiment often found on grilled meat. It is similar to basil pesto found in Italy, but uses the more robust parsley instead of basil. Now of course you can make the chimichurri in a food processor, but I find the pestle and mortar gives a better texture. Whenever you'll be using a good quality wooden one like this, it's always a good idea to oil it first. To make the chimichurri, I'll start by adding a cup or so of roughly chopped parsley to the pestle and mortar. This is curly parsley, but of course you can use Italian flat leaf as well. Next, I'll drizzle in half a cup of good olive oil, and this little pitcher actually belonged to my late grandmother, and I think of her every time I use it. Next, I'll sprinkle in some salt, quite a bit of salt. And I'll add in some freshly chopped oregano. Next, I'll add 2 cloves of garlic that I've roughly chopped. Now, chimichurri always have either a vinegar component or some lemon juice. In this case, I'll be using some lime juice. I'd say 2 of these small limes, but if you're using a lemon, 1 would be enough. I'll also chop in 1 chili, but this is completely up to taste and you can leave them out or add more. I just chop them roughly. Now comes the fun part. You want to keep going until you have a pesto-like texture and the garlic and chili is completely incorporated. If you find it to be too coarse, you can always add extra olive oil. You can also drizzle this over roasted vegetables, that would be equally delicious. Alright, everything is combined. I'll put this in a serving bowl and we'll start assembling the flatbread. So the steak has had its time to rest. I'll be braaiing it now. I'll give them 3 minutes aside, cover them with foil and allow them to rest for 5 minutes. Whenever you're braaiing steak, you want to make sure that you have a very hot fire or else you risk overcooking the steak before getting those char-grilled marks and flavor. I'll be slicing the steak now before assembling the flatbread. To assemble the flatbreads, I'll start by layering on the tzatziki sauce. And there's a bit of a storm coming, so we'll have to be quick. I layer on the tzatziki quite thickly. Next, I'll layer on the steak. One final piece. Now with the steak done, all we need to do is add the chimichurri, some chopped tomatoes and some fresh parsley. What you want is the contrast between the robust chimichurri and the soothing tzatziki. I made this batch of flatbreads yesterday, and if you would like to see how I made them, I'll put the link to the video in the description below. Of course, you can also use store-bought flatbreads. I'll add a final squeeze of lime juice. And we're done. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button.